Hey guys, welcome back to Swish Position. Today, we're looking at 5 questions the Sixers must answer in order to make it all the way to the finals in 2021 through 2022. First up at number 5, who plays point guard once Ben Simmons leaves? The 76ers currently have Simmons as their starting point guard, but the prevailing wisdom is that won't last. Eventually, the Sixers are going to need to find another point guard to start for them. There really aren't any point guards available on the trade market that would work as an upgrade, so they're going to have to promote from within. Milton hasn't been nearly as good. He's inconsistent with the ball in his hand, and there are times where the play seems wrong. He does, however, lead the Sixers in assists, and he's third on the team in minutes, although he's just barely averaging more minutes than Maxey. Doc Rivers seems committed to trying out both point guards until someone makes it clear that they are the starter. Replacing Simmons will be a tall task, but the Sixers might have the right combination of players to find the right match. At number 4, does Matisse Thybulle deserve starter minutes? Thybulle is one of the best defensive players on the team. He has that side of the game down, but the third-year guard needs to prove that he can do it on the offensive side of the ball. He's averaged a measly 4.3 points per game over his career. Simply said, that's not going to cut it in the NBA, even from a defensive stalwart. Offenses can't operate with a black hole. It provides such a disadvantage that the advantage on the defensive side of the ball is wiped out. Thybulle needs to be better offensively, and apparently, he's been working on that side of the ball all offseason. But without proof of concept, the 76ers can't give him more minutes than they already have. He'll clearly be a key part of the rotation, but most expect him to take a huge step forward in year 3. That won't happen if he's dealing with an injury at the start of the year, and he doesn't have the time to test a new offensive approach before the games count. At number 3, what moves can they make mid-season? If this is the final roster minus Ben Simmons, is this a championship roster? They have a star in Joel Embiid, but look at the rest of the starting lineup. Maxey, Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, and Danny Green are the likely starters. That seems underwhelming. Embiid would need to have an MVP-level season again in order to get one of the top 3 spots in the Eastern Conference, and they would still need something more to make noise in the playoffs. We've seen from the Milwaukee Bucks that teams need more than just their star to win a title. They never had a chance until they got Drew Holiday on the roster. It's too easy for the best teams to erase one player when that player is the sole contributor. There aren't as many disgruntled stars as there were in years past. Simmons is by far the most important player on the trade block. Bradley Beal seems fine staying in Washington. Maybe the Sixers go for a young star like Tyler Hero or Colin Sexton, but they will both cost a lot. There are other stars who seem cooked but could be revitalized like Kevin Love or Miles Turner. There are options on the table, but they would need something huge to get them back into real title contentions. Maybe Buddy Hield is the right player to target since he has shown a desire to leave Sacramento. But what does adding Hield do for the Sixers? Would that move put them in the conversation with teams like the Bucks, Lakers, and Warriors? At number 2, what does Joel Embiid do without another star? Since the start of this, it was Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons ready to lead this team to the next era of 76ers basketball. Markelle Fultz was already a bust, and they sent him to Orlando. Now, they're going to get rid of Ben Simmons. That leaves Embiid and a bunch of quality veterans. It's not the worst situation, but it puts the entirety of the pressure on Embiid. Last season, when Simmons disappeared in the playoffs, Embiid was alright. Listen, Embiid wasn't nearly as bad as Simmons was, but if Simmons didn't exist, there would be a lot more scrutiny coming Embiid's way. In one of the losses to the Hawks, he scored 17 points while shooting just 20% from the field. He averaged more than 30 points in this series, but his output in games 1 and 2 wasn't close to what it was to close out the series. Will he be able to step up to the point that he's the main focus of the defense every single night? He will face double teams in almost every possession. Can he score 30 points per game if every defender wants to stop him? Embiid can do things that nobody else can on the court. He'll just need to do that under duress this season. At number 1, Ben Simmons? This one doesn't need to be an actual question. It's just Ben Simmons. His impending trade holds the entire team hostage until it goes through. Reporters will ask the players what Simmons is thinking, despite the fact that he's the one that isn't there. This team is the Ben Simmons show, no matter how much they don't want to be it. Simmons should have been traded by now. That much is clear. This team can't move forward until it happens. Also, teams are starting to solidify their starting lineups. Will they really want to upend that for a player that looked like Simmons did during the playoffs last year? He looked far from the game changer that he was coming out of LSU. He looked scared. This whole thing is a mess. Simmons is a question mark on like 15 different levels for this Sixers team. How long are they willing to pull this charade? Will they start him if he returns? Is their wild asking price ever going down? So many questions and literally no answers. The Sixers can't move forward this season unless they put the Ben Simmons saga behind them. Well guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Swish Position, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. See you all next time.